Today is April the 2nd. Did Jesus really rise from the dead? Let's find out together as we study Matthew 27:62 to 66. All throughout the story of Jesus' death, burial, and resurrection, we find a mixture of Jewish and Roman realities. The accusation, the condemnation was Jewish. Jesus is guilty of blasphemy. It's not something the Romans would have considered a valid accusation. But the condemnation, the crucifixion, was all Roman. Jews didn't crucify, Romans crucified. The burial was done by Jewish customs. John is specific in pointing out that Joseph of Arimathea and Nicodemus followed the Jewish customs of burial. But then a guard was placed at the tomb. That was a Roman reality. In Matthew chapter 27, starting in verse 62, the next day on the Sabbath, the leading priests and Pharisees went to see Pilate. They told him, "Sir, we remember that while that deceiver once said, but while he was still alive, 'After 3 days I'll rise from the dead.' So we request that you seal the tomb until the third day. This will prevent his disciples from coming and stealing his body and then telling everyone he was raised from the dead. If that happens, we'll be worse off than we were at first." Pilate replied, "Take guards, secure it the best you can." So they sealed the tomb and posted guards to protect it. Now, the facts of the story here are clear. Jewish leaders understood clearly that Jesus said that he would rise again on the third day. So they suspected that his followers might steal the body and then say, "See, he's risen." To prevent against that, they had Pilate place a Roman guard at the tomb. They sealed the tomb. I kind of doubt that this was an official Roman governmental seal. It was more likely just a seal that indicates if there's been tampering. If somebody rolls the stone away and rolls it back, the seal would be broken. The guard is now watching at the tomb. Matthew chapter 28, we have the story of the resurrection. 2 angels come down. They sit by the side of the tomb. In verse 4, the guards shook with fear when they saw him. They fell into a dead faint. When the guards saw what was going on, they literally fainted from fear. The women come to the tomb. The angel sees them, invites them to look in the tomb. They run to tell the disciples what's going on. Matthew chapter 28, verse 11, as the women were on their way, some of the guards went into the city and told the leading priests what had happened. A meeting with the elders was called. They decided to give the soldiers a large bribe. They told the soldiers, "You must say, 'Jesus' disciples came during the night while we were sleeping. They stole his body. If the governor hears about it, we'll stand up for you so that you won't get in trouble." So the guards accepted the bribe. They said what they were told to say. Their story spread widely among the Jews. They still tell it today. The Roman soldiers went to the Jewish leaders. Why didn't they go to their own leaders? Because there was a penalty for not keeping guard. That penalty was death. They went to the Jewish leaders to explain the predicament. Jesus really rose from the dead. The Romans wouldn't believe it. I'm not even sure the Jewish leaders believed it, even after hearing the guards. So they bribed them and they told the guards that they would run interference for him with the governor. The story that they told continues to be told today. Even today, there are those who say that no, the disciples stole Jesus's body. The problem is there were eyewitnesses to Jesus's resurrection. The problem is what would have happened if the disciples had come to steal Jesus's body. Didn't happen. The guards were not put to death. They lived on, wealthier, because now they had a bribe. The problem is the story that the guards told was nonsense. While we were asleep, his disciples came to steal his body. How would they know that if they were asleep? How would they know who stole the body if they were all asleep? The reality is, the one explanation that answers all of the evidence that we have before us is that Jesus rose from the dead. Now, the reason Matthew goes into such detail about the guards, two simple reasons. Authenticity, because that's what happened, and apologetics. It explains the story that Jesus' disciples stole Jesus' body. Did Jesus really rise from the dead? You bet. That, together with his crucifixion, is the center of all Christianity. I encourage you to like and subscribe on whatever platform you used to listen to this devotional. If you have questions, email them to us at questions@becomehope.com. Sunday, we talk about the resurrection. Come and enjoy life together on Sunday with His